Okay, so here is the success criteria for a narrative. You can find this PowerPoint on the online Year 6 section for home learning, so you can use that as your guide as you are writing. So first thing is a narrative has a clear title, so we need to ensure that you have a very clear title that relates to the story. Now often writers will create a title at the end of their story because they can't think of one at the beginning, so that's fine. If you want to write your story and then put your title in, that's perfect. Number 2, narrative has an introduction that sets the scene and catches the reader's interest. So it's really important that when you start writing, you have a good introduction and a good opening that really engages the reader, wants them to carry on reading. So you need to use a range of adjectives, really bring the characters to life, describe the setting, and set the tone for the rest of the story. Number 3, the narrative has a build-up which introduces the storyline for the main characters. It drops some clues as to what may happen later. So this is where you're kind of starting to introduce what is going to happen in the story. You're not starting the problem yet, but you're slowly building up to it. So it's really important that you think about where your story is going to go, so you know what your build-up will be. The narrative has a dilemma, which introduces the main problem involving the character, and it needs to be fixed. So it's really important that you think of a problem, but it needs to be a realistic problem and one that can be fixed. Don't make the problem too complicated as well, because we want to ensure that the reader understands what's going on in every part of the story. Then we need to have a resolution, so that describes how the problem is solved and how the main characters do this. Again, try and make it as realistic as possible. We are not going to have an ending that is happily ever after, because we obviously are Year 6s and we know how to find better ways of ending our stories. You need to ensure that you're using paragraphs to show a change of time and place or an idea. You need to make sure that your narrative has a range of sentence types, not just simple sentences. So try and add in conjunctions to extend your sentences and make them interesting. You need to have a large range of punctuation, dashes, hyphens, semicolons, commas. You need to have a range of different openers. I will be sending you some information about different openers. I'll be putting that onto the website as well. A narrative needs to be written neatly, and you need to have tried to spell as many of the high frequency words correctly as possible. All the best, and I look forward to reading your stories.